Hi guys. So we had a few minutes. We're just sitting relaxing before we're going to a neighbor's little memorial get together. And we thought we might just give a synopsis of the last week. This time last week, like 1 week ago, we had just gone camping with our new camper. We were mini camping, not really camping.
It was a practice.
Yeah, it was a practice. This cute little campground where I found one spot, just to practice because we really were going to be camping big this weekend. So we needed to sort of get the bugs out of our new old camper that we just purchased. It's a 2016. It's adorable. And I was like checking the light bulbs, and we were practicing one more time about hitching up because we got this Mondo hitch that's
distribution
like equalizer, which is like weighs more than we do. But anyway, we did good. We figured it
together
out.
more than we weigh together.
Yeah,
a lot more.
We have to use a crowbar to move it around, to undo it, unhitch. But anyway, we did figure it out. So we practiced. And we just actually stayed hitched up because we were just staying one night just to practice and have some time with Skylar, our little 7-year-old grandbaby. And so anyway, the short version is it was 11:30. We were asleep in the camper, all tucked in. It was just sweet. I just read Skylar a story. What's the name of the story?
One of my favorite kids' story. God bless the
gargoyles.
Or she calls them gargoyles.
Yeah, and it's about how the gargoyles in history protected the churches. That was and buildings, and that was the point of them. And they became demons in a lot of people's eyes. And anyway,
misunderstood. Like many of us have been in our life.
So it was
by others and their judginess.
Mm-hmm. It's a sweet story, and we prayed for protection for all of us and our family.
It has a good ending.
Yeah, and we went to sleep. And Ann and I had both just fallen asleep. It was, like I said, 11:30. And all of a sudden, an earthquake happened to our camper. And the long and short of it is a tree fell on our camper and into our camper. Like 3 feet, a big, huge branch of it fell like 3 feet from Skylar's head. So anyway, we're all okay. We were fine.
My face.
Yeah, it was very scary. It was, a near-death experience is what it felt like, truly. And we couldn't get out because the door was...
jammed by a tree.
So we started...
Unbeknownst to us, we didn't know what the issue was.
So we tried to get out the emergency exit. At first, we couldn't get the emergency exit window open, but then finally Ann did, and we just started screaming bloody murder. And
now, bear in mind, it's pitch black, and those of you that are campers know how pitch black it is.
It was black
at a campsite,
right?
Yeah.
So we just started screaming, "Help! Help! Help! Campsite board!" And all of a sudden,
this is the first time I'd ever done that in my life.
Me too.
Never been in a situation that I've had to yell for.
First time.
Help!
Yeah, screaming.
Yeah.
So
and it comes. You don't need any kind of preparation. Me. You don't have to kind of, drum it up.
No, it comes out of your vocal cords.
You are scared and you're ready to get out. Yeah.
And so about 12:30-somethings, we're all we're camping a couple of sites down.
Primitive camping.
And
tents.
They ended up being all healthcare workers, and were just, I can't even describe how precious they were. And they just started saying, "We're coming.
Keep calling. We hear you.
And so a group of guys and girls just came and said, "We got you, mommy, we got you, mommy." And so we lifted Skylar out to them, and one of the girls just enveloped her and just took her, and
Skylar wrapped her arms around her neck and
held onto her like she was her mother.
Around her. Yeah, she just...
So she took her to their campsite.
And Buffy.
And the dog, right? And then poor Ann was like, "I can't get out." And I said, "You can get out. You can get out."
I was like,
and the guys were going, come on, we can get you. And she was like, "I'm old and I'm fat and I
was precise.
I can't do it." And I said, "You can do it. You can do it." So I put a pillow on the on the ledge, and she scooted out, and they just lifted her out, just
like delivered breech,
like a delivered baby, exactly. And then I did the same thing. I just put my bottom on, and they just lifted me out. And so anyway, we had to call 911, and they came, and
we kissed on them all and hugged them, and
it
was nice to know afterwards that they were all healthcare, so they were all vaccinated.
Yeah, they said we're vaccinated.
We are vaccinated.
So good, we are too. So anyway, the forestry people came in the middle of the night, and so then we drove home like at 2 a.m, and
just like in a daze, in shock.
And we had to go back in the morning and deal with the forestry people, and they cut all the trees away, and anyway, so that's what we've been dealing with this week.
And with that, we kind of like realized that, and some of you have seen all this on my Facebook, and the sweet people that helped us, their pictures and the pictures of the trailer and everything. But we spent the next 2 days just like racing and roaring. Heather had to take Monday off and deal with me getting the stuff out. So
we had to unload the camper completely
so they could move it,
Right.
And so we just were hustling to make all this happen. And then they had some issues. The insurance company's been just spot on. They've been very
go progressive.
Yeah. USAA. Yeah, USAA. They refer us, I guess, through their general agency to Progressive that writes their RV insurance in Florida. But they have been wonderful. The adjuster's been wonderful, and just very responsive. However, you've got a junked up kind of trailer with the slide out, and
we're pretty sure it's a total
and the awning hanging down, and a hole in the roof, and we don't know what else, and a dented roof.
It was a total disaster looking area.
After about 2 tries, they finally on the third one got, like that show I like to watch, that heavy duty, whatever it is,
towing people,
recovery people that
that's who had to
that's
come.
who had to finally come.
They couldn't even roll it away
and pick it up, and and put it on a flatbed and get it out of there. So so I was always talking to insurance people and various tow truck people said, I can't do this once they get out there, so it didn't really hit us until Friday morning. We were saying when we woke up that we didn't have a moment to kind of feel sad about it.
Yeah.
We were grateful to God that none of us had a scratch on us, and for the people that supported us and helped us through it. Grateful to God that we had insurance and good insurance.
Mm-hmm.
But we loved that little camper. We looked long and hard. Heather had really researched.
And any of you campers know to find a camper right now is a miracle.
Yeah, and to find a good one and the floor plan, and she decorated it so sweet.
So
and
if anybody knows,
we called it Bunny.
And if anybody knows of anybody that wants to get rid of a couple's camper, like 2016, 17, 18 for around $20,000, let us know.
It's
we'll buy it.
Really sweet, as my daddy said, a little sweet cherry, in good shape. But we just really loved it, and and you put a lot of yourself in that, even though you hadn't been out with it. We were supposed to be out with it right now, and so when we went the next day and we're getting things out, Skylar was still with us, and she just sat on the picnic table, and she was so sad and crying, and that's the first time she cried. And I said, what's wrong, baby? And she said, Bunny's broken. I'm so sad. Are we ever going to go camping again? And I went, absolutely. So, and we were talking about grief in the midst of this. And of course, we are around that as part of what we do for a living is grief work and death work, death and dying work. So we're around that all the time, and you want to kind of discount this. You go, well, this is a trailer. It's a material thing. You're grateful for your lives. Absolutely. And it can be replaced. Absolutely. It's just a thing. Absolutely. But it's a loss. And one of the things I constantly have to lift up before people, because everybody wants to do it, and I caught Heather doing that, said, well, there's worse things. We could be sick, one of us. We could, and people do that. Even dying people in hospice, believe it or not, will be saying, well, I know people got you in here, at the care center. They'll go where I work. They go, I know people got it worse and all that. I said, I really don't think God does that. Kind of parses it out and puts one in one box and one in another box, and this is severe loss and this is a little loss. And I think God knows that we're emotional, sensitive creatures that in moments like this are aware of our fragility and our preciousness, not just of life, but the moments of life together and enjoying each other. And so all of that was wrapped up in this trailer, and we felt sad and grief. And I told Heather, I said, don't minimize that. I just don't think our God works that way, that it all matters, and not to compare it to something else, that you're sad, and that's okay to be sad. Like I told Skylar about Bunny. And that's
our week
for today. And so now we wait for insurance to process and tell us what's what. In the meantime, we're itching to go again. Thank you, my cousin Eva Ruth said, you're resilient and strong. My cousin come from a resilient and strong people. And don't let this stop you from camping. And it won't. My wonderful and wacky and brilliant and gracious Aunt Betty Jo passed yesterday, and she was the last of that generation, that group that our grandmother, their mother, raised. And so she would be saying the same thing, and is saying the same thing, she enjoyed life. She had rough times, and she went through stuff, and she did crazy, wacky stuff, and she always pushed through.
We love you. Bye.
Push through. Love y'all. Bye.